Hello dear viewers, today I'm reporting from the showroom in Minden and want to present to you our latest, the F35. The F35 is a panel saw that we are launching with three types. We have a type 1, which is geared more towards the solid wood sector with a powerful motor. We have a type 2, which is already well digitized with a digit X, aimed at the carpentry sector, and a type 3, which is for the high-end carpentry sector with a 3-axis control, where the height, tilt, and CNC parallel fence are all motorized. Every machine in the F35 range has a certain basic equipment. That means we always start with a 3.20 mm double roller carriage. On the left side, we have an angle miter fence, either as standard with a magnifier, as digit L, or as digit LD, where the standard and digit L do not have length compensation. Only the digit LD, as seen here, would also make length compensation in angles. On the right side, we have the choice between 1 mm cutting width and 1.41 mm cutting width. Here as the type 3 machine with CNC axis. At that moment also with CFD plate on the back, left and right as table extension and enlargement. But what stands out the most is the new modern control system we've added here. It's a screen that provides a very large area where we can give information to the customer. We have the ability with this machine to show the tilt digitally, the height digitally, and the parallel fence digitally. We have a machine representation in the middle and a button block on the right side. So on this control we can present many displays very well to the customer. We also have the ability to display workpiece thickness, saw blade thickness and speed. And in the back area we have several functionalities such as a groove program or a very nice solution for error diagnosis. The F35 is the successor to the WA80 and WA. Of course, we've added a bit more to this machine than we know from the old types. I would like to explain the advantages to you now. First and foremost, the operation of this machine. That means through the large display we have the ability to use several functions that are in daily use. For example, a calculator. It doesn't just calculate any result, but the result can be directly transferred to an axis. I'll show it here. I select the parallel fence, choose the calculator and say I want to cut a piece 500 smaller to glue on two edges. So the operation would be 500 minus 2 x 1.3 mm, and the result immediately appears at the top in the CNC parallel fence. I just need to press start and it positions me directly there to cut a piece smaller for edge gluing. We have a groove function in the control, which is under cutting functions here, and grooving is also well known from the Evo and Elmo drive area. That means functionalities are included here, like in the F45. I can give a starting point for the groove, a groove width, a step between the individual grooves. I can make several grooves in a row, and I also have a groove height. By confirming on the screen with start, I can then control the program sequence. Do I have a problem with the machine here? Did I press an emergency stop? Did I leave the door open at the back? There is a very nice plain text display. The moment an emergency stop is pressed, the operator sees directly where this emergency stop was pressed. Where did the problem occur? Why isn't the machine running? He gets it displayed as an image with an error message and also shown how to fix it, namely by simply releasing the emergency stop here, and the machine returns to the normal operating interface. A function that is also very popular is the blunt and sharp function. This appears the moment I tilt the saw blade, let's say here at 22 degrees. I confirm, I press start. You see all axes are now adjusting. So we have communication in the axis, which is also known from F45. The saw blade tilts, and at that moment on the left side I have a sharp and blunt function for the angle fence. That means up here I can enter a dimension I want to cut, and in the lower field I immediately see what my dimension is in the lower area, so the blunt dimension. The F35 now immediately includes this in the control. Also, an important highlight compared to the WA80 is everything that concerns the F35 about the scorer and main saw blade. The scorer is controlled here via the menu on the touch screen. This time it's a 2-axis scorer. That means, unlike a WA80, which had to be adjusted mechanically on the side and in height, I have the option to do it motorized here. The height is entered via a mass input. I press start and the axis moves to its working height position. If I do this on the side, I select the side where I want to go, press start, and then move the unit in the position in fast and slow mode. The same in the other direction. Again here, when I press start, I feel how the unit then moves. The scorer itself, when I turn it on via the main saw blade, starts running. Turn on the scorer for that. You can see that the LED is blinking at first until the scorer reaches the height position. Once it's in the height position, it stays on and lights up next to the scorer. When I turn off the units, I press the stop button and both units power down. The main saw blade is braked. What's also important is the large diameters we can run on the F35. This machine can hold a saw blade with an overhang of 154 mm. And the big benefit is you don't need to remove the scorer here. The Rapido system or the scoring saw blade doesn't need to be removed from the machine to run a blade on it. A new option for the F35 is swiveling away the whole cross-slide double roller carriage. This way I can free up the double roller carriage for larger operations than its cutting length allows. How do I do that? I take the swivel device away from the back here. I have to press it down a bit because it's pre-tensioned and move the cross-slide right up to the device. I then have the option to clamp it here and remove it from the guide. I then take the swivel arm out of the table and now have the option to simply move the double roller carriage away and pull the entire cross slide behind the machine so it's no longer in the way. The F35 is a worthy successor to the WA80 models. Why is that? I'd be happy to summarize it again. For you, of course, the highlight is the large control panel with good clarity, with functions like grooving, calculator, blunt and sharp, or a great display for errors on the screen. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned new things. See you next time. Bye.